Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. If you are anywhere in the world and you need to get to a therapist, go to BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They'll have you fill out some questions. They'll place you with a master's level or PhD level therapist that is able to counsel outside of the United States. If you're inside of the United States, they will find a qualified one in your state. So there that is. I've had a lot of good feedback. People seem to really like their therapist when they get with one. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, on to the questions. So this last weekend, we were talking about how to deal with rude strangers, rude people in general. So here are some of the leftover questions and a couple of new ones that came in. What do you think of someone else being on the phone but trying to also include you in the text conversation? I feel disrespected, but this person is usually very respectful. So should I let it go? Well, I think when they're not on the phone and you're with them again, that would be a great time to bring it up. You know, when this happened, I know you were trying to include me, but I kind of felt disrespected. So I just wanted to let you know, that kind of thing. And then how they respond to that is going to tell you a lot. If they care, they'll be like, oh, wow, that was not my intent. I'm sorry, I was including you because I didn't want you to feel excluded, and I won't do that again, or, whatever. So, but you got to let people know because they're not mind readers. I wish we were. Wouldn't that be nice? We would all won that $1 billion lottery not too long ago. So you got to tell people. It's like if something is bothering you, you got to speak up. If you can't speak up in the moment, because that's what I find a lot with us as survivors, especially when you're just working on your self-esteem and boundaries and things like that. It's really hard to speak up in the moment. It's not impossible, but we do tend to come up with 1,000 reasons why we can't speak up in the moment. And it's usually codependent reasons. It's usually I'm afraid I'm going to offend them. I'm afraid they're going to get angry, something like that. But they won't know to fix it if you don't tell them. So you gotta, at a time when there's no phones involved and it's just you guys talking, you bring it up. It's like, when this happened, I really felt disrespected. And I know that was not your intent, but that's how I felt. And I just thought you should know. And hopefully they will change said behavior. If they don't, that's a red flag, because you've let them know this is a disrespect and I don't like it. And, please stop, and if they don't, well then, that's kind of a red flag. So there that is. Okay, is what you're describing when reactive abuse happens from a target, when the target releases all the cortisol adrenals. The body is amazing how it responds. Reactive abuse is when we've had it. When we've had it. The abuser has been abusing, and we just slam our fist down and go, no more. I'm done. Well, they're going to claim that you're being abusive by yelling. So that's reactive abuse. It's not really abuse. I don't like that term, reactive abuse, because really what it is that they poke, and we just up to here have had it, and then we yell at them, or we scream, or we shout, or we do, something to try to make them stop. So that's called reactive abuse. Really, it's just we've had it kind of thing. It's not really abuse because it's a one-off. We don't normally do things like that. So yeah, when our adrenaline gland gets involved, when our amygdala gets involved, it's like logic goes offline and survival instincts go online. And so fight, flight, freeze, or fawn will kick in full bore, and then they'll use that against you and say, well, you're abusive. You yelled at me. You left. You did this. You did that. So flight, walking away because we can't handle it. They'll accuse you of abandoning them. Fighting back, yelling, etc. Freeze, bunny rabbit, you're just unresponsive. You don't know how to talk to me, blah, 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 fawning, giving into them. Oh, you're a yes man, you blah, blah, blah. They use it against us, guys. You're wrong no matter what with them. And that's not normal. Let me just say that again. That is not normal. Healthy people don't use fight, flight, freeze, or fawn against the person. They don't. Okay? So, but they will. They will twist it and make it, you're the problem, you abandoned me, you yelled at me, blah, 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 when really you've just had it and your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn instinct kicks in. So, yeah, it's not abuse. It's you're reacting because they're attacking and you're trying to defend yourself. And it is survival. You're at survival. You really are. So that's why it's really a good idea to get with a good trauma therapist. Work on your self-esteem. Work on your inner children. The Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor, or the one by Lucia Cappuccioni, which I think is called Recovering Your Inner Child. So, work on that stuff so that you understand what's going on within you so that you are not doing a knee-jerk reaction, an automatic reaction. You're able to take a deep breath and go, yeah, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do this. I do need to do that. Do you see where I'm going with that? So it takes practice. It takes practice. So gentle with you. Do get those workbooks. Do work them. So there is that. Okay. I think that answers that question. And yeah, our bodies are amazing. They really are. And listen to your body. Your body will tell you. If your body is like, get the hell out, then get the hell out. Listen to it. I told my abuser he was a narcissist and he came unglued. Why? Well, because they're crazy and they don't like the truth. Truth will set you free right after it pisses you right the bleep off. They don't like the truth. They don't like hearing, they don't like it mirrored back to them what they are. So telling an abuser that they're abusive is never going to change them. Let's just be clear. Telling an abuser that they're a narcissist is never going to get them to wake up. And I think that's the reason a lot of targets of abuse do that, is because they're hoping against hope that the abuser is going to go, oh my God, I'm a narcissist. Oh my God, I need to work on this. Guys, I love y'all. I do. But here's the hard, cold truth. Narcissists do not and do not want to change. Ever. Not on this planet, not on any other planet. They will not change. They don't, they won't. You cannot make them. And nothing you say or do is going to cause them to wake up. I know. And that's what's so heartbreaking, I think, because we see the potential, or we fall in love with the illusion, and the illusion was beautiful. They mirrored to us exactly what they knew we wanted or needed. They mirrored it 110%. Social, great sense of humor, fun-loving, outgoing, and then the mask slips, and then the real them comes out, and they're negging, and they're nasty, and they're vicious, and they're, yeah, and we fell in love with an illusion that's not real. So we keep thinking we're going to get that real them back. There is no real them. There is no there. When I say there is no there, it's like crickets are chirping. There is no empathy. There is no ability to put themselves in someone else's shoes. There is no questioning. So healthy, normal people question themselves. Did I do the right thing? Did I say the right thing? Could I have done something different? Could I have done something better? That's what the rest of us do. Narcissists think they're God. They really do. So, yeah, no. They are not ever going to change. And they come unglued because they know there's something wrong with them. Why do you think they don't want to go to therapy? Because they know a good therapist is going to go, you know what? Your spouse is not the problem. So do you see where I'm going with that? That's why they don't like therapy, because they know a good therapist can see them for what they are. So, and they don't want to know the truth. They do not want to know the truth. And it angers them that you see it, because that's the beginning stage of you leaving, and they know it. So be prepared for the attacks to come more fast, more furious. Get the hell out. There's no point in staying. Get the hell out. If your person is a narcissist, like really truly a narcissist, then you need to leave. There's no changing them. There's no helping them. There's no nothing. Now, here's the other thing you have to be careful of is that unless you've got a diagnosis, like from a professional, you don't want to be throwing around the term narcissist, and it's already thrown around too much. So, even if you said you're abusive, they would come unglued because it's the truth. They are. And now they know you see it. And so they're going to double down on they double down on their gaslighting, lying, cheating, stealing, etc. So yeah, get out, save yourself the trouble, get out. Okay, I want to tell her I'm leaving so she will change. It must be Mercury in retrograde. Okay, here's the deal. Telling a narcissist, telling an abuser that you're leaving is not going to make them change. They don't change. Let us be clear. I just said that. They don't change. There's no there there. They are incapable, do not want to, unwilling to work on themselves, and have no empathy. You can't work with that. Leaving is only going to do one thing. If you go back, the abuse is going to be worse. And this is what they do. It's like, the spouse gets fed up and leaves, and then a month or two later, or 6 months, sometimes years, the abuser comes back. Oh, baby, I've changed. Everything will be different. Come back to me. It'll be better. Blah, blah, blah. You get back together with them. The love bombing cycle is shorter, and the discard and devalue is brutaler. I don't even know if that's a word. More brutal. It is insane because they get worse and worse and worse the more times you go back, because they're like, oh, they put up with this. Let's see if they'll put up with this. And then they do something worse. And then they do something worse than that. And then they do something worse than that. So, yeah, no, they're not going to change. If you're going to leave and slam that door shut, lock it, bar it, put several deadbolts on it, never open it again. That's my opinion on that. All right, bunnies, I think, is that it? Yes, that is it. That's all the questions for this week. So this Sunday, I'm going to talk about hoarding as a trauma response, why we do it, how you can work to not do that. It is a challenge. It's not impossible, but it is a challenge. So a lot of survivors of abuse do hoard. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to get help for that. We're going to talk about trauma therapy. We're going to talk about, coming clean, opening up to trusted friends, trusted family if you have any. So we're going to talk about all of that. All right, my loves, you guys go have a great week, and I will hopefully see some of you in Salt Lake City on Saturday, and tickets are still available on chrisgodinez.com if you are interested. And then I will see the rest of you on Sunday, and we will talk about hoarding stuff. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.